Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
We are just jam-packed this morning. It's a ton of stuff to get to and share with you. And it all starts with our bingo card, which, by the way, should be pinned to the very tippy top of our Twitter page. So you can get it there, download it, and then play along with us all week long.
And the Twitter page is @patunleashed.
Now, if you get a bingo somehow during the course of the week, then you call 888-900-3393, claim your prize of $30 worth of merchandise.
Got to be the first one through.
Right. So we start in the upper left-hand corner with no, honey, no. Then Keith.
I guess British, like of sorts.
Right.
Of sorts.
And then there's the business music, which I don't know if I guess it's any business music. Could be this one.
Yeah.
There's another one that is played by Corby when he's here, but okay.
Thank you, Martin.
Martin did find it.
Yeah, Martin has no problem.
He had that deer in headlights look for a second there on the business music. All up in here. Mm-hmm. In the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was like somebody will be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Foreigner. It's a sad one, but true. Then you got Jeffy. You think? You're not a mother, Dawn.
You'll never birth your children. You're not a mother, Dawn.
I love that.
We've already said too much. I love this one from Joe Biden. Let's see if I can find it here very quickly.
Well, he's talking to our brave men and women of the armed forces.
Mm-hmm.
And he obviously has so much respect for them.
Are you kidding me?
To the point where he...
Yeah, absolutely he does.
Clap for that, you stupid bastard.
So he tells him, clap for that, you stupid bastards. I was just looking that up, and Reuters had a fact check on it. So this happened several years ago. What, 2020 maybe? Mm-hmm. Was it during the campaign or was it after?
So no, somebody dug it up during the campaign when he was vice president.
Okay. So clap for that, you stupid bastards. It was missing. It was lacking context. So the context made that okay. Supposedly he meant it as a joke. When you watch the clip, he's not joking. He's just not joking. Then we got It's Nate's Fault. Mm-hmm. Ouch.
Wait, Martin.
Ouch.
There
it is.
Martin's been there in a while.
Calling a movie a documentary. Mm-hmm. Get off me.
Get off me.
Traffic and weather together. Every 10 minutes on the fours. Good morning. That one actually works. Mm-hmm. Haven't done it for a while, so. Because it'd have to be traffic and weather together every 9 minutes on the threes. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. AOC.
Like, whatever, and like, or whatever, like, just like.
Just generally, like, showing her brilliance,
She's good.
Keith with...
Yeah, the McGurk effect. Whenever I forget what I'm going to say, it's just the McGurk effect now.
Okay. Biden.
I'm going to get in real trouble.
He's going to get in trouble. I don't know from who. His mommy? Who's going to... I mean, you're the president. Then we got the Via Getty thing.
Yeah, have we mentioned Via Getty?
Mm-hmm. This from Kamala.
I eat no for breakfast.
Ugh. Ugh.
It's just unreal.
No, thank you.
Jeffy. I don't care who you are. Pat Screech. Stop it!
There it is. Yes, wake up, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Jeffy, my friend. One of my favorites of all time.
You pooped in your pants.
I pooped my pants.
Mm-hmm. Keith.
You'll see me on the news. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not your trained monkey. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you hear that, and it can't be during
tweets.
Tweets, yeah. Mm-hmm. So
starting now.
Right now. And good luck. Drive safely. So, new poll out. What a surprise. Trump, not Biden. Better for America.
Yeah.
You think?
That's an easy one.
That wasn't Jeffy who just said that, though.
Uh-huh.
I believe on the you think it has to be Jeffy.
It has to be
right?
Jeffy.
Yeah. Okay. Just to clarify. Because
we should have him record some of these lines.
You should.
Just play them in abstention.
Trump, not Biden. Better for America. 42 to 28%.
Wow.
42-28. I mean, it's kind of surprising it's not a lot higher than that. But with the partisan divide in this country, that's a big spread. 14 points. that's not just on the backs of Republicans, because it couldn't be that large if it was just Republicans,
right.
Democrats. You got to have some independents, maybe even some Democrats in there that are just disgusted with the job he's doing. So just 34% said that the Biden presidency has been good for America. A majority, 52%, said it's been bad. 11% made no difference. All age groups failed the president on that question. When asked if a second Biden term or second Trump presidency would be better, right, it was the 42 to 28. Another and significant 27% chose somebody else. Mm-hmm. A day earlier, Rasmussen said that a sizable 62% believe that the economy has been worse under Biden, whose administration has been rocked by surging inflation on pocketbook items of their own doing, of course. And then you got the gas prices that have come down a little bit, but they're still way too high. You got shortages. We've got rumors of much worse shortages on the way, especially for food. It's a little concerning. In fact, it's a lot concerning. So,
well, I mean, at least, as we tap into our strategic oil reserve, at least there's not also threat of war or us getting involved overseas.
Don't have to worry about using our emergency stuff that we would fuel our military with.
That's good.
In any kind of emergency. Yeah, don't even worry about that, because that can't happen. We could never go to war again.
They outlawed it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no more war.
The United Nations made it illegal to go to war. Mm-hmm. So, right.
Well, imagine. There's no countries.
Oh, no.
It's easy if you try. Nothing to kill or die for, and don't ask me why. I don't know. I think I mixed my verses there.
Good morning.
It's Monday this morning. Good morning. Traffic and weather together every 9 minutes on the force. All morning long.
All right.
Good morning, everybody. This beautiful morning. The White House is celebrating a radical Maoist who openly admired Osama bin Laden after 9/11. Mm-hmm. An activist who embraced the teachings of Mao and held up Osama bin Laden as a hero is being celebrated by the Biden White House as an example for American women. The White House on Friday tweeted that it was honoring activist Yuri Kochiyama as part of Women's History Month, saying that she spoke out about oppressive institutions and injustice in the United States. Isn't that great?
That's good stuff.
That makes everything else she did irrelevant, I guess, because she's wonderful. She said of bin Laden, he's in the category of Malcolm X, Che Guevara, Patrice Lumumba, Fidel Castro, all leaders that I admire.
Not familiar with Patrice Lumumba.
No, I'm not either, but I'm glad she admires all of those people. Are you kidding me? Yeah, murderers. Mm-hmm. Castro, Guevara, murderers. Genocidal maniacs. Che Guevara, man, you talk about somebody, he just indiscriminately killed homosexuals because they were homosexuals. Why don't you look into Che Guevara and see if you want a Che Guevara t-shirt or cap to wear around. Wow. She also said that the freedom fighters all over the world, and not just in the Muslim world, don't just support him, they revere him. They join him in battle. He is no ordinary leader or ordinary Muslim. He may have once been surrounded with luxuries, but he adapted to the realities. So I guess he was a bad person when he was surrounded by luxury.
That's what she's inferring.
Yeah, but a good one now that he lives in a cave and kills people. Innocent people. So he adapted to the realities of a hunted terrorist leader living in caves and doing without modern commodities. He went through heaven and hell with his men. Mm-hmm. This woman held up for honor by the Biden White House, then said, I don't care what the U.S. government or Americans feel. I think it's shameful what this government has done from the beginning of its racist, loathsome history.
Wow. The Biden administration singling her out for honor.
America's greed, aggressiveness, and self-righteous arrogance must be stopped. War and weaponry must be abolished, according to her. As noted on the website Vox, she was an outspoken admirer of Mao as well, even after the Great Leap Forward and Cultural Revolution, and praised Malcolm X for his admiration for Mao and Ho Chi Minh. And that is who has been singled out by the Biden administration for glory right now. That's wonderful.
Okay.
That's good. That they could get an anti-American, Osama bin Laden loving, wonderful woman like that.
Wonderful.
Isn't that great? Mm-hmm. Really great. On Friday, new Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson was introduced, and Joe Biden had another brilliant moment, as he so often does.
Good.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping.
What?
Traveling with him. And we traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know that for a fact.
What just happened?
Nobody knows. Well, I mean, nobody except for Kamala knows, because if we play this again, she's like, yep, totally follow along, absolutely.
Yeah,
but
you said.
At least Brown Jackson is still, she's not a politician, so she's looking at the ground like, what is happening right now? Watch this, it's insanity.
Oh my gosh.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
Okay.
I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping.
Pause it for a second.
Traveling with him.
Okay, so America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
One word, yep.
Excuse me.
Come back.
Excuse me. And you can in the Himalayas.
What is
in the
that
foothills?
word?
So the Himalayan foothills is a single word we can be summed up in.
I'm beyond trying to figure out what this man's trying to say.
Okay, start at the beginning of that again. This is priceless. This is one of his best moments ever.
Yeah, it is.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping. Traveling with him.
Yeah.
And we traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know that for a fact.
That's a good one. That's good.
What?
Martin, assignment today.
Wow.
Please pull that quote word.
Yeah.
And also, you're tasked with trying to spell it.
That is stunning.
And message to Joe
Breathtaking.
Biden. Yeah, when you're going to have an incredible moment like that in the future, don't do it on a Friday afternoon.
Dang,
we need this during the week.
Right.
Bro, okay?
Absolutely.
I've been waiting for 4 days to play that.
That is something else.
But he's in control, and he's going to save this nation.
And there's nothing wrong with him. There's absolutely nothing wrong with him. The man's brilliant.
Don't go there. Don't go there, Jake.
Right, because it's absolutely absurd to even bring it up. That's a Republican talking point. Congratulations on doing the job of the Republican machine. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. Also, this fabulous White House, it's just so on top of things, so sharp. On Friday, Jen Psaki called out another president's name. Again.
Over the last 4 weeks, fewer Americans filed initial claims for unemployment insurance than any time in recorded history. Since President Biden took office, our economy has added 7.9 million jobs. That's more jobs created on average per month than any other president in history.
No, they're good.
Yep.
Obama on the brain, baby. He comes to town, and they get all hot and bothered, and they can't get him out of their mind.
It's exactly what's happening. Plus, he might be one of those that is sending the orders down to them, too. And so sometimes they forget. Also from Psaki on children's sex changes. This is so amazing that they're going to try to... she's going to tell you what they're going to try to do to states who oppose sex changes for children.
Last item for you before we get to your questions. Across the country, as we've talked about a bit in here, Republican elected officials are engaging in a disturbing, cynical trend of attacking vulnerable transgender kids for purely partisan political reasons. Today in Alabama...
Okay, they're not attacking the children at all. They might be calling into question parents who would even consider mutilating their genitals before they're even puberty age. It's It's unconscionable. But of course, she turns it around on Republicans, and they're the bad guys. Wow.
So according to this White House, don't stop groomers from going after your kids with education laws as well.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Dan Patrick, your former boss, Lieutenant Governor of Texas, has said that we're looking at getting a Florida-style law here in Texas now.
Good.
With the schools.
Good. That's excellent. All right, let's see what else she had to say here.
Reasons. Today in Alabama, instead of focusing on critical kitchen table issues like the economy, COVID, or addressing the country's mental health crisis, Republican lawmakers are currently debating legislation that, among many things, would target trans youth with tactics that threatens to put pediatricians in prison if they provide medically necessary life-saving health care for the kids they serve. Just like the extreme government overreach we've seen in Texas, where politicians have sent state officials into the homes of loving parents to investigate them for abuse just to harass and intimidate the LGBTQI plus community. Today's vote in Alabama will only serve to harm kids. But Alabama's lawmakers and other legislators who are contemplating these discriminatory bills have been put on notice by the Department of Justice and the Department of Health and Human Services that laws and policies preventing care that healthcare professionals recommend for transgender minors may violate the Constitution and federal law. To be clear, every major medical association agrees that gender-affirming healthcare for transgender kids is a best practice and potentially life-saving. All of this begs an important question. What are these policies actually trying to solve for?
Tell us, Jen.
LGBTQI plus people can't be erased or forced back into any closets, and kids across our nation should be allowed to be who they are without the threat that their parents or their doctor could be imprisoned simply for helping them and loving them. President Biden has committed in both words and actions to fight for all Americans and will not hesitate to hold these states accountable.
That's good.
Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. We are living the time that Isaiah predicted, that prophesied. I can't believe that they are demonizing states that are trying to protect children from potentially life-saving surgery. It could save their life. If you mutilate them and their genitals, I don't think so. Besides, I think the suicide rate might be higher after surgery than it is before for the trans community.
Seems like we did have that.
We did have that. Yeah. We had that stat at one point.
Remember now, this is the same administration that wants your kids to be masked up.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want your kids to have a choice in whether or not they can breathe freely or have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
But, oh my gosh, if I, at the age of 7, want to become a woman or a girl, oh, that's totally fine. Go and mutilate yourself. That's totally cool. Yeah, but don't you dare ride around the block without a helmet on while you're riding your bike. No. You don't get to make that choice. I mean, this world is insane.
And again, we're like 5 or 6 years removed from this being considered a mental illness by the AMA. It was mental illness that had to be treated. And now, if you even try to intervene and add a little bit of sanity to the discussion and say, hey, maybe it's better if you just kind of wait. If they feel this way when they're 18, okay, well, let them do it then. But you can't do it when they're 8, when they're 7. Unbelievable. Really frightening. And evil. They're just evil.
And that's the word. There's no room for common sense.
No.
In this world anymore.
Oh, man.
And you're right. It's absolutely evil.
This was sent to us by Pathead Cincy Browncoat. It's from a church service in Iowa where they offered a prayer to the God of pronouns.
Oh. This will be good. I want to pray. Let's see what we got here. Okay.
And it goes a little something like this.
Clip
cut number 5, if you have that.
O God of pronouns, we give praise to the Great One, the one who is identifiable as God. I am what I am, you say, the great they. The incarnate he and she, the God of trans being. Impregnating Mary.
What?
Fathering God. breastfeeding God of many breasts.
Wait, what's happening?
You
Excuse me?
shatter all stereotypes,
Is there an earthquake in Iowa
making
yet?
every single person,
Wow.
male and female, male and female, intersex, non-binary, in your image,
Non-binary.
exactly in your image.
Wow.
Spectrum, rainbow God, who put your promise for nonviolence in the
rainbow
symbol for
God.
pure love
Don't act like you didn't
before
hear that.
humanity
Yeah,
knew,
I heard it.
because you knew.
And it's the
Who had Joseph, who could not sleep with a woman, in a beautiful lady's cloak, perhaps of rainbow colors, before we knew. You knew. God of pronouns, who said, you
Joseph
can
was
call
gay.
me he or she or they, whatever makes you feel closest to me. Invisible and visible God, on this day,
wow.
where visibility and celebration, belatedness, affirmation, and acceptance is the bare minimum.
This is good, right?
Oh, wow.
Remind us that
Pass
you
the
are
plate.
the God of pronouns,
God of
so
pronouns.
God of
you
pronouns.
affirm and you celebrate them.
Yeah.
God of Saul, Paul, Simon, Isaac,
In pronouns.
Jacob, Isaac, Simon, Peter,
Uh-huh.
Abram
Jacob.
and Sarai, and Abraham and Sarah.
Yeah, we know.
God
they're
of
the same
Joseph,
people. We
of the
know.
coat of many colors, of the Ethiopian eunuch,
All right,
of the
I
Virgin
can't-
Mary.
You
I
can't
can't
take
do it
anymore.
anymore.
Hold on, wait. There's
Okay.
something really good at the end here. I forgot
Is
what
there?
it was. I forgot what it was, but there
All
was
right.
something really
Let me see if we
good
can
payoff.
get through it.
What was it?
Wow.
Hold on.
God of all found families in the Bible.
Hold on. What was it?
Remind us that you affirm us in our full identity.
How much time's left in this,
Name.
Rob?
Pronoun, found family, all of it.
All of it.
For this, we give you thanks and praise to the great I am,
Oh.
the great they, them.
The great they, them.
Good golly.
There it is.
Oh, my gosh.
There it is. The great they, them. There's your title today, Daniel.
Okay, that's, sacrilege, obviously. The God of pronouns. Who is that anyway? Who is it? John Dewey? Is he
Wait.
the God of pronouns? Who's the God of pronouns? And to turn I am into they them is despicable and just absolute heresy. Sacrilege. Wow.
So no earthquakes, no large sinkholes under any churches in Iowa today, correct?
Wow. I don't know. I'd be surprised if there weren't. Schools are out of control, too, on this gender stuff. Here's an Oakland, California groomer explaining that,
Yes.
explaining exactly what a transition closet is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The goal of the transition closet is for our students to be able to wear the clothes that their parents approve of, come to school, and then swap out into the clothes that fit who they truly are.
Oh, okay.
And I use the
So-
idea that this is like Superman changing in a phone booth.
No, it's
But
not
that
like that.
idea actually goes a lot further than that, because Superman isn't Clark Kent. Clark Kent is actually the disguise. And when Clark Kent goes into the phone booth, he transforms into Superman, who's really just who he truly is, Kal-El. And so this gives our trans students the opportunity to be the superheroes that we know they are.
Okay. You might want to check into whether or not this stuff is going on at your public school. If your child's in public school, you might want to take a really close look at it.
Boy.
This is because these are the kinds of things
That's the teacher.
that are happening. And they're not happening in every school, I grant you, with every teacher. But they're happening way too often.
Man, the days of like a Mary Kay Letourneau giving birth to the love child of her teenage student.
Those were good times.
Those are quaint days,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Bring me
yeah.
that America, please.
Good times.
Oh, God.
Wow.
This is help.
Well, I got some help for your dog, at least. It's called Rough Greens. If your dog is kind of finicky, this could really help. Plus, your dog's not getting the nutrition they need if you're just feeding them that dry kibble food, because all of the nutrients, all of the vitamins and minerals have been burned out of it in the sterilization process so that the food will last up to 3 years on the grocery store shelves. So Rough Greens is a supplement that puts back into your dog's food the vitamins and minerals, the probiotics and the antioxidants, and basically any of the nutrients that your dog needs that they're missing in most dog food. So if you think that your dog is a little listless, maybe not acting the way that your dog did when it was younger, then give this a try. And this is really cool with Rough Greens because they don't want you to commit to this and then find out that your dog doesn't like it. Now, most dogs I know of love it, including my dog Belle. She loves this stuff, won't eat her food without it on top. So they will send you a free bag of Rough Greens for your dog to try out for a couple of days. And then if they love it, then you order more. If they don't, then you're not out. Anything but shipping. All you have to pay for is the shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com, RUFF greens.com, or call 833-783-3364.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Wow, that was as rough a patch as I think we've come across in a while. I mean, this has gotten so out of hand.
It's everywhere.
So out of control, so fast. It's head spinning. That prayer is just, I can't even get over it. Wow.
The great they, them?
Yeah, that's, oof. Man, the great I am is so sacred. And if you know anything about it, you know that you don't want to mess with that. And so for her to use they, them afterwards is just despicable.
And I watched that entire church segment there in part that is edited out. She makes reference to PCUSA, which would be the Presbyterian Church USA, if memory serves. So I wonder if they have I don't know, maybe they sent that to that church. Maybe that was a prayer sent from the home office. I have no idea, but I would love to hear. I would love to hear their take on that.
Yeah. So you want to pay attention to what your kids are learning at school and maybe where your pastors are going, the ministers are going with this kind of stuff.
You can't let your guard down for
not at
a
all.
nanosecond in this society.
No, not at all. And we can't have tolerance for that kind of stuff. I mean, you should be leaving that church and not sitting there every week, right? Listening to that garbage. It's like the Jeremiah Wright stuff. You're hearing sacrilegious things every single week. And
she was talking about the coat of many colors. She was trying to say that
it's a rainbow coat.
You knew before we knew.
What?
Please.
No.
He was wearing a lady's robe.
No.
That's what she said. I mean, it's a good time, right? 2022?
Yeah.
Loving this year. It's good.
I mean, it is the LGBTQIA2 plus movement that hijacked the rainbow. And for some reason, the rainbow now signifies gayness. It didn't with, in the time of Joseph.
Well, he knew before we knew.
Yeah, he knew before we knew. Right. Okay. Wow. By the way, have you signed up for CNN Plus yet?
Have I?
Yeah, like multiple times?
Multiple, because I want to help the cause.
Yeah. We got a tweet from them over the weekend. You can learn about our once-in-a-lifetime offer.
Okay.
This deal is making headlines. They're trying to say, like, this was the plan all along. It's not that we can't sell any subscriptions. We're just doing a great sale right off the bat.
Sign up today for 50% off.
For life.
For life. So what are you making, like a 1 month commitment tops here? I mean, how long is this thing going to exist?
Not long. Not long. But they're trying. That's a nice spin on your 50% off the next day. And they're trying to take control of the hemorrhaging that's going on at CNN Plus. That's amazing. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. 2 seconds late coming back from the break. Thanks, Martin. That's 2 seconds we won't get
Seriously.
back.
I mean, you're here for Corby for 5 days. Mm-hmm. And how many seconds have you gypped from the audience here?
Way too many.
Mm-hmm.
3.
Way too many.
3 total?
3 total?
3 total.
At least you're honest.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got some tweets here. Decaffeinated Texan tweets. God isn't laughing. Neither am I.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, this is not fun. That's not funny.
No, and Dave Matthews, the guy who runs APR Coffee, lost everything in the tornado. I was just getting a runaround from insurance, but God bless you, Dave. I hope things get better. He tweeted out, the God of Pronouns nonsense was from First Presbyterian of Iowa City.
Wow.
Many Iowa Methodist and Unitarian congregations are on the same path. Yikes.
How do you sit there in the pew with your pastor saying that kind of stuff? Praying that way. I don't know. It's chilling. Idaho Cougar fan tweets, abortions, pronouns, and transgenders. Oh my. We are no longer in America anymore, Dorothy. We're in the land of evil clowns. And Biden is the wizard. And Jen Psaki is the flying monkey. Pelosi is the wicked witch.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, Pelosi, by the way, has COVID. Barely knows it. But that's how deadly this is. An 82-year-old woman barely even knows she has it. And
she kissed Biden on the cheek.
Kissed him.
But that's fine.
That's not close contact either.
Yeah,
Don't think it is, because it isn't. You can hug and kiss, and that's not close contact?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and by the way, along the same lines, there's a waitress for the Yankees, Yankee Stadium, for 17 years, who has now been fired because she refuses to get the vaccine. But don't forget, the players are exempt. They're in New York City. It's two Americas, y'all.
Yep. The deplorable Mr. Jackwagon, gender-changing surgeries for children are life-saving. From the same Biden administration that prosecuted doctors for treating COVID with inexpensive and effective medications that have been used without issues for years. Yeah.
Wow. Don't get in the way of a doctor changing a 7-year-old's sex organs.
Right.
But if you yourself as an adult want to take ivermectin or some other treatment like that for COVID,
we're coming for you.
Oh, no.
We're coming for you. There's also I've got a story here today about a 9-year-old boy. A hospital is refusing a kidney transplant to a 9-year-old boy. Why? Because his dad won't get the vaccine. Wait. His dad won't get the vaccine, so he can't get the kidney surgery? Wow. But do no harm, right? That's that hospital's motto, I'm sure. Do no harm, as it is for all medical professionals. Tanner Donaldson is a regular third grader, loves to play basketball and lacrosse. But he was born with just one kidney, and it only functions between 18 to 20% of maximum capacity. He was born with a birth defect called posterior urethral valves. It's a valve that blocks urine from exiting the body. The family's managing Tanner's condition right now, but at some point he will have to have a kidney transplant. In 2018, both of Tanner's parents were found to be perfect donor matches to give a kidney to their son. The family wanted to put off having the surgery as long as possible, since the transplanted kidneys from a live donor only last an average of 20 years. Wow, I didn't know that. Then the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Now, Cleveland Clinic General Hospital, Children's Hospital, is refusing to perform the operation because the father is unvaccinated. The Donaldsons received a letter from the hospital in November notifying them that all donors and organ recipients must be vaccinated against COVID-19 in order to get transplant surgery.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, if this were my kid, you'd see me on the news, because I'd be at that hospital and it wouldn't be pretty. You're going to do the surgery right now, and I'm not leaving until it's done.
It was a little bit thrown down our throat. I mean, it was everywhere we turned, Donaldson said. I couldn't shop at a grocery store without hearing it over the loudspeaker. So the more it became, the more just studying it, what's involved in it, is there informed consent? Do I get to see the ingredient list? No. And we're pissed off at you for even asking.
Yeah, how many people in this dad's family are like, just get the vaccine. Do you want to save Tanner's life or not?
Yeah.
You are so selfish. Oh, my gosh. I know that's happening.
Can almost guarantee everybody in his life is saying that to him. Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's heartbreaking. What a tragic world we've created.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And you would take it out on this 9-year-old boy? unbelievable. Really amazing. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Talking about CNN Plus a few minutes ago. Chris Wallace pushed back on Nicole Hannah-Jones. Was this actually on CNN Plus?
Yeah, that's
there already.
Apparently, that's the rumor. There's actual programming on CNN Plus.
No.
And Nicole Hannah-Jones is the creator of the 1619 Project. Is that right? Okay,
that's right.
That's a racist thing that teaches you America sucks.
So her thing is that the Greatest Generation is racist, of course. And here's a little pushback from Chris Wallace.
If you say the country that we were fighting for democracy overseas and we were not living it, walking the walk, talking the talk at home, I completely agree with you. But you specifically say the greatest generation brutally suppressing, many of this generation brutally suppressing democracy for millions of Americans. To me, and I think Tom Brokaw, when he originally wrote the book, The Greatest Generation, was talking about 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds who came out of the farm fields of the Midwest, who came out of ethnic neighborhoods in Brooklyn and South Philly and stormed the beaches of Normandy and fought to defeat the worst regime, I would argue, in world history. And to say that they were 20, 30-year-olds. The country was brutally suppressing blacks, but the Greatest Generation wasn't.
Well, they were.
I mean, they weren't. You're telling me that a kid coming off a farm in Indiana or a kid who came from Brooklyn was suppressing
Indiana
black
had
people?
the largest population of the Klan in the United States. The Klan was
I understand, but that wasn't a 20-year-old kid who
You don't think
risked his
20-year-olds
life.
were in the Klan?
Wow.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. I don't know why they continue to live here. These America-hating idiots.
That's a good question.
These elitists. What keeps you here then? If this is such an evil country, then find a better place. Why wouldn't you do that? If I believed as she does, I couldn't live here and continue to pay taxes. There's no way I would be paying taxes to this government. I mean, were mistakes made and people oppressed? Yes. But the vast majority of people weren't doing that. Every nation has problems, and every nation has bad people in it, especially when you've got as many people as we do. Nobody is going to have a perfect experience growing up in this country, but it's the overall, it's the totality of the experience that's so great. Would it be better if America didn't exist? Absolutely not.
Boy.
She'd probably say yes. So why are you here? What keeps you here in this evil place?
No, that's a great point. It's like they hate this country so much. Why do they stay here? I mean, their goal is to destroy it, yet you could just leave. You could easily just leave. And
you could.
And so many of these people that hate this country so much, they've made millions in it.
Right.
Off of this system that
and
they
you don't
supposedly
think she's
hate.
making millions?
Oh, absolutely. What's okay?
You bet.
Hannah Nicole Jones' net worth? What do you think?
Her net worth is probably skyrocketed in the last 5 years. Has to have.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, estimated. This was a year ago.
Okay.
Estimated $3 million.
All right.
So I mean that'll
I guarantee that was more than before she came out with the 1619 project.
And that, like I said, that was a year ago. I mean, $3 million, that'll pay the bills, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
As a rule. Mm-hmm. All right, let me tell you about our current out-of-control inflation. We're paying 47% more for fuel than a year ago. We're paying 41% more for the same used vehicle if you buy it this year instead of last. Almost 10% more right now to feed your family. So every dollar in your savings is worth less than it was a year ago. Now, what you need is a hedge against the U.S. dollar by investing in something with real value. Gold and silver from Birch Gold. Precious metals have historically been a safe haven in times of inflation. And Birch Gold is the leader in converting IRAs and 401ks into a tax-sheltered IRA backed by gold and silver. So your money is actually backed by something? Huh. What a concept. with thousands of satisfied customers and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, Birch Gold can help you protect your savings. Please do this today. Just get the kit, go through it, see if it's right for you. Text PAT to 989-898 and you'll get the free info kit on gold. No obligation. You don't have to buy anything. Just look it over. Text PAT to 989-898 and get your free info pack now. PAT to 989-898.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Oh, Megan Rapinoe back in the news, which is great.
That is great.
She clearly believes Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, jacked her fiance's company's logo for his new XFL brand.
Okay.
Oh, no.
What do we do?
And now she's demanding the actor change it before lawyers get involved. So there's the XFL.
That's the logo for XFL.
On the left, and then on the right is Together. TOGETHXR.
Together.
Okay. That doesn't spell together, but I'm sure that's what they're trying to get.
I mean,
that doesn't look the same.
Not at all. I mean, one half of the X for together is, it's black and white. The other one's just all white.
Yeah.
No, you don't win this one. Sorry,
No,
Megan.
that is nowhere near.
Now, if we're claiming letters, though, I want Y, because you can do a lot with Y. I mean, that's a versatile letter.
Right.
You don't get the X.
Yeah, I don't think you can own the letter X. I really don't.
Pathetic. And there are quotes about this.
And if you could, the XFL was before this company that she's talking about, right? I mean, I know they're making a comeback, and I know this is another version of it, but the XFL, what was that? Like years ago, they started the XFL.
I'm going to look up their old logo and see. No, it's just a regular X.
Okay. Still, I mean, that's asinine.
This is weak.
So Rapinoe said if The Rock doesn't change things quickly, their team will be sending over a cease and desist letter. Welp, she said, wrote, this is awkward. Only thing The Rock and XFL 2023 are going to be cooking up as a response to the cease and desist and an entire new brand ID. Together, got this on lock, boys. Really?
Somebody needs a friend.
Okay. If you're unfamiliar, Bird and other star female athletes started to... Oh, okay. I was thinking, did it say her husband at the beginning? Because that's...
Fiance.
Okay. All right. Oh, so Sue Bird. That's who it is.
Yeah.
Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe. Okay. They and other athletes have started together.
If you're not familiar, which nobody is.
Right. It's a company designed to promote equality in the media.
Oh, good.
And highlight the achievement of women in sports. Several years ago, used a unique X as part of their logo. Rapinoe and Bird clearly believe The Rock's X logo too closely resembles Together's.
No.
And they made it apparent they're not going to let it slide.
Okay, but if an X falls in the forest, Megan, and nobody saw it, okay, then you can't
really
claim
fall?
infringement. I would argue that The Rock has never seen your company's logo.
I certainly haven't.
No.
Never heard of the company.
And what does
never
it
seen
even
the logo.
do? Together. I don't even know how to Google that.
They promote equality in the media and highlight the achievement of women in sports, Keith.
Wait, why are they
As
doing
if
that?
you didn't know.
That's hateful. Don't be promoting women in sports.
Right.
Because that's
how do
what
we even know
Yes. Dudes
what
are allowed
women's
over there.
sports is?
Thank you.
If we don't know what women are, if we're not biologists, then surely we don't know women's sports.
A judge will throw this out 30 seconds after it's probably.
I hope so. If he doesn't, he or she, there's, then we're even further down the road than we fear, because that is not even close. Jeez. X does not mark the spot there on Rapinoe and Sue Bird's company. That it's completely dissimilar. Amazing.
That's someone who's together X or business plan is falling apart, and they need to figure out a way to make some money. Stat.
And The Rock has some money.
The future president of the United States.
So I guess they're going to start in 2023.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah, since the name of it is XFL 2023.
Oh,
kind of gave me
that's a giveaway.
Yeah, I thought that was somewhat of a giveaway. So is that, it's going to be a spring league, right?
I don't know. I never
think
watched
so,
those leagues.
I think they realize now, okay, you can't compete with the NFL. And so maybe we can partner with the NFL, be sort of a farm team, farm league to the NFL. I think that's what they're going for this time. Whereas last time they were competing against the NFL and they were trying to be more outrageous. And that didn't quite work.
Yeah, I was disappointed when I watched the first XFL game. Remember the ratings were through the roof. That first game.
At first.
I thought it was going to be like folding chairs scattered at random places throughout the field. You could pick up and hit the guy with the ball. Because remember Vince McMahon was a part of that, and that was the...
Yeah.
And I thought, hey, this is going to be watchable.
No.
I remember He Hate Me. Remember that? He was a big player in the XFL. Remember that guy? He went on to play for the Carolina Panthers.
Did he?
I think that was the only crossover that I'm aware of.
Under his actual name, though, right?
Yeah.
He didn't go by He Hate Me in the NFL.
What? Rod Smart. Yeah. He was good. He was a good punt returner or something.
I forgot about He Hate Me. But that's what they had, the weird names on the back of their jerseys. Yeah. Cute.
Yeah, cute.
That's adorable.
Yeah. Adorable.
Also, later on, we gotta get into this worm-shaped cloud over Alaska.
Oh, yeah, we do.
That's some weirdness.
Something's up.
It's nothing, but that's just a chemtrail. That's all that is. That came from a commercial jet. It's a chemtrail.
Really? Yeah. We'll let you be the judge when we show it to you. Coming up, that and lots more on the way. Pat Gray Unleashed. Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Another very strange, unidentified thing in the sky. This time over an Alaska mountain. And I guess a police investigation ensued. A lot of people were afraid it was some kind of UFO or plane crash. Or maybe a UFO crash. Because I think we have this. Do we have the still of it? It is a very weird, worm-like thing in the sky.
Creepy looking.
They're calling it a cloud in the article. That doesn't look like any cloud I've ever seen.
What?
And so then people are saying, well, what is that?
Yeah.
And they sent out a helicopter looking for any kind of wreckage, didn't find any. So then they came up with the theory that, it's just a commercial entrail. That's all it is.
Excuse me, what was that?
Yeah, it's just a commercial jet, the Comtrail.
Wait,
from a commercial
going
jet.
Straight down into the earth?
Yeah. It's just an optical illusion between the commercial contrail and the sun rising. It made it look as if
I've never
crashing.
seen a commercial plane
and a sunrise. No, that's never happened before.
You've never seen them together at the same time. So that's what happens. It looks like a dadgum
giant worm in the sky that's going straight down.
If you're listening to the audio-only version, it's as if aliens are getting ready to do some fracking from outer space into the Earth. But it's just it's an optical illusion.
No. That's just a commercial airliner. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Stop it.
Long, narrow column of smoke featuring a claw-like formation at its bottom end appeared over Lazy Mountain last Thursday. Alaskans rushed to Facebook to debate what it could be. Guesses ranged from a plane crash to rocket launch to, of course, extraterrestrial activity. Our government have been testing hypersonic missiles and aircraft, one user theorized. There are auroral research rockets, and they've been putting those up in the air for decades. Somebody else said, no, it was aliens. Okay. All right.
I think we're done here.
Yeah.
It's aliens.
Local police begged to differ. The strange sight to them, simply an airplane's trail in the light of a sunrise. Troopers believe that the photos and videos showed a contrail from the commercial jet combined with the rising sun, which together caused the unique atmospheric sight. It's just like back in the 50s and 60s when swamp gas would reflect the light coming from Venus, and it made it look as though there was some sort of spaceship. No, that's just Venus reflecting in swamp gas.
I mean,
you stupid idiots.
Kudos to the government in this case for not telling us it was a weather balloon.
Yeah, at least, it wasn't a little, yeah.
They haven't used that one in a while.
The agency said it received so many calls about the cloud that it sent the helicopter and found nothing, of course. Or did they? That's my question. Or did they?
Yeah, so right now, there's probably like little alien larvae in the Alaskan earth.
Very likely.
That's gonna.
I think it's likely.
Okay, so it's very likely.
Very likely.
That they're just kind of,
they're fermenting right now.
Fermenting, getting ready to come on out and visit us.
Yep, exactly right.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Navy is going to name a boring oil ship. That's B-O-R-I-N-G, boring. So it bores, into...
It's not just not entertaining?
No.
Okay.
But they're going to name this boring oil ship after Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
All right! She made it!
Yeah, she did. She did.
Look at that.
So the article starts out, the U.S. Navy will name a boring oil ship after Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the racist Supreme Court justice best known for refusing to let America's first black president choose her successor. They're just using the left's tactics. Nice. The yet-to-be-constructed USNS Ruth Bader Ginsburg will be a John Lewis-class replenishment oil ship tasked with transporting fuel to the Navy's carrier strike groups. So you got the John Lewis class, and you have Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
A couple heroes.
Of the left, indeed. Military experts told the Washington Free Beacon the vessel will perform duties that are the naval equivalent of making a sandwich for the Navy's more powerful ships.
I like it.
After a long day in combat in the open seas. The ship will be able to carry up to 162,000 barrels of oil at top speeds of about 20 knots.
Okay, so you just, Ruth, you just follow along, and when we need some fuel or some sandwiches, you just get it all up over here.
Make those,
okay,
and that'll be fine. Or get us a beer, whatever.
That's a beer.
Go get me a beer, Ruth.
Yeah.
Plus, the new Maya Angelou quarters could help redefine freedom in America.
Okay.
So we're going to have quarters with Maya Angelou on them.
No.
Yes.
Are they trying to...
What are you, a racist?
They're trying to chase me into not using cash. That's what they're doing. They're like, no, you're going to go digital now.
Well, come on now. The woman who did this...
A rock,
deserves
a river, a tree. Hosts to species long since departed.
Huh? How about that?
Oh, we don't get the dried token?
Oh, okay, you can.
A rock,
Oh, wait.
a river,
I mean, anytime you can
a
mix
tree.
in talk about dinosaur poo.
Hosts to species long since departed.
Yeah.
Marked the mastodon, the dinosaur,
Right.
who left dry tokens of their sojourn here.
They left their
on
poop.
our
They left dried tokens of our sojourn here.
They left their poop.
Good. That's good. Okay. So she might be on a new quarter.
All right. Good.
And it might be more than just the 25-cent piece. The coin is helping redefine what America looks like, what freedom looks like in America. The quarter, which launched in January, is the kickoff to the U.S. Mint's American Women. American Woman! Their American Women series is the first ever U.S. coin honoring a black woman.
Okay.
Recently, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen described the series as a chance to convey what we value and how we've progressed as a society. But it's not just the quarter's existence that matters. The design of the coin is symbolic as well. Standard U.S. quarters show George Washington on the front and a bald eagle on the back. Classic American archetypes of freedom. The Angelou Quarter still features Washington on one side, but on the other side, it showcases the profile of the black author and activist who died in 2014.
So
wow, it's been that long ago?
It has George Washington on it still.
Yeah.
Boy, that's...
And then Maya Angelou on the back.
That's shocking.
It kind of is.
We still have...
Yeah, I didn't expect
still that racist founding father slave owner guy on the front.
Hard to
Whatever.
believe. Yeah, don't you think? I think people will have a problem with this.
I'm stunned that
race activists will have a problem with this.
Yeah.
How dare you put that slave owner on the front of the coin and she's on the back?
How
dare you?
Right.
I mean, Trump said that they wouldn't stop until they got rid of every statue, and he was absolutely right. The money's next. The money's next.
Well, it has to be. Every form of honoring the founders has to be done away with.
So when does the Harriet Tubman 20 come out? That'll be when they 2030. Wow,
not till 2030.
How do they keep pushing that back?
Why do we have to wait that long?
Racism.
Thank you.
Racism.
Thank you.
Maybe that's going to take them that long to find a picture of her smiling. But so anyway, they're pushing that back. Whenever they release that, that's when the levee breaks, and they're gonna be saying, "Hey, why do we stop there? We got to get rid of all of these founding fathers."
Yep.
Well, I guess they're getting rid of Andrew Jackson on the 20. Because remember, originally they were going to get rid of Hamilton, and the left was like, "Well, wait a minute, he wasn't really that bad." And I mean, seriously, because remember, like Obama.
Yeah, because he wanted a central bank.
The only time I've ever heard Barack Obama speak positively about a founding father, it was about Alexander Hamilton. It was right when his term started.
Of course.
Anyhow, so I'm glad we got rid of Andrew Jackson. I don't care. Get rid of him. Fine. Replace him with Tubman. Great. But it's going to be Washington.
It'll be all of
Jefferson.
them.
Exactly.
All of them. Meanwhile, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is surprised blacks don't like Democrats that much anymore. Shocked.
A lot of black people feel like Democrats have kept no promises since they've been in office.
Right.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Reverend Island said that a million times. I'm sure he'll be pressing you about that tomorrow.
Look, I get it.
Do you?
You do?
Do you?
Look, I get it. No, I don't think you do. I don't think you do. That's great that he was called out on that.
Yeah. Yeah, Pete.
By a black host, by the way, which is all the more powerful.
Is that Charlemagne the God? Martin knows.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Where does he do a show? From whence does his show emanate?
Sometime in the morning. It's the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, but
where's he
What
live?
city?
Where's he live?
Oh, in New York.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
All right.
The last one there.
Huh. Wonder why he chose Charlemagne. That's interesting.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, and maybe they said something at the beginning of the interview where Buttigieg said, "Call me Pete," because that's what he said. Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he didn't, then wow, that's not Mr. Secretary. But I'm just glad to see that a black voice pushing back on a Democrat official in this administration. To say,
awesome.
Yeah, we don't like you guys. We don't trust you.
You've never fulfilled a single promise. We're doing worse than when you started trying to help. I mean, the war on poverty has been an abject failure. We've spent, I think it's $30 trillion in the war on poverty, and the poverty rate in this country remained almost exactly the same as when we started. It's just incredible. Meanwhile, Jon Stewart still spewing the party line, talking about the American dream being unattainable for blacks. You just can't get there from here. Sorry.
The literal interpretation of the American dream is it doesn't matter where you were born or how you were born or who you are, that in this country you can rise up and go beyond that. And it turns out to be a fallacy.
Really?
But I wonder, when we say, in 2040 or 2050, when the demographics change and we won't know what will happen, I feel like we know what will happen because it's what's happened from the very beginning. And I would say, the formation of the Union, the compromise that was made with the southern states, that black slaves would count as 3/5, but they can't vote, but you can count them. There has always been
Pause it for a second.
A redistribution.
I can't take
Pat's
it.
having an aneurysm.
I
Whenever the
cannot.
3/5 clause comes up, Pat,
I can't.
brain just explodes.
Just can't take it. It's shocking to me that supposedly intelligent people can continue to spew that nonsense about the 3/5 clause. God dang it. Could you not just noodle it out? I mean, if you've never read about it, fine. Maybe you've never read the Federalist Papers in your life. Okay, I get it. They're kind of complex. It's a lot to take in. What they put in a newspaper in, the 1780s, we can't figure out in these vast, meaty books today. We dare not even venture there because it's so boring and it's just too hard. At least noodle it out on your own. 3/5 of a person was a census issue, not a quality of humanity issue. And the slave owners in the South wanted them to count 1 for 1. Why didn't the abolitionists want that? Because that would have given the South more power. Good golly, it's not that hard. Really, it isn't. The more representation you have, and that's what the census is all about, the more representation, the more power your state has. The northern delegates knew that, and so they didn't want to address the slaves as 1-to-1. In fact, they didn't want to address them at all because, as they mentioned, you guys consider them property. We're not going to count your property as people. No, because they didn't want to give them the power. God, it's despicable that, he must know that. He's got to know that.
Yeah.
And yet he keeps continuing to propagate the nonsense.
Yeah, I'm looking for this quote. There's a great book that I would recommend to everybody, and I'll tweet it out later. But it's the Founding Fathers Guide to the Constitution by Brian McClanahan. And the beauty of this book is that it provides the context for all of these debates. It shows you how they went through and created the Constitution, and it shows you the quotes so that you can present these arguments. But one of the great quotes in there is from Governor Morris, who said that, look, if you're gonna, if slaves are just property, right? He's talking to the South.
Yeah.
If slaves are just property,
then you shouldn't count them at all.
Why are you counting them at all? Like, why don't we just count chairs?
Right.
Let's just count chairs for representation in Congress then, if they're just property.
That's exactly what it's like.
But you can't ask someone like Jon Stewart to be bothered with facts and context when it comes to stuff like this, because he just has a point he wants to make from the beginning, and that's all he's going to do.
It just shows their ignorance,
They
though.
don't care.
Shows their ignorance. Absolute stunning ignorance. We'll finish up with him in just a second. First, let me tell you about Keeps. If you want to keep your hair, you want to stop it from falling out, you want to regrow it, there's all kinds of things that you can do, and there are options now with Keeps. They have physicians that will help you select the right products that they have and the right treatments for your specific condition and your hair goals. All Keeps treatment plans are delivered straight to your door at about half the cost of a traditional pharmacy. Your plan comes with a full year of unlimited messaging, so you can connect with your doctor about anything that's concerning you pretty much any time. With Keeps, you get quality expert care without visiting a doctor's office or a pharmacy. You just go online, take care of the whole process right there. And their customer service people are so great. They really want this to be a good experience for you. So whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of the hair you have, Keeps has you covered. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/Pat. That's KEEPS. Keeps.com/Pat. Got some tweets here. Pew Pew One Pew tweets, Megan, as in Megan Rapinoe, discovered that accusing The Rock is the only way for her to market her brand without paying millions and no one caring. From Swankthink, together, that's TOGETHXR, which really isn't together, but I think that's what they mean. Together will win in court just because they're part of the alphabet mafia. Probably true. That's where we are as a nation. Your status in the oppression hierarchy determines the outcome of judicial adjudication. I'm not being facetious. No, yeah. It's sad but true. Winter Soldier on standby tweets, wow, a Maya Angelou quarter just in time for the Fed to roll out its digital Fed dollar and abolish physical currency altogether.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
We are on the brink of it. All right, so we heard Jon Stewart saying that for black people, the American dream is over. You can't own a home. So that's going to surprise a lot of black homeowners. I think that, I thought we were living in a home. I guess not. Because Jon Stewart said the dream is dead and it can't happen. So, strange. I think it's racist just to spew that kind of nonsense. It's ridiculous. And this isn't the first time Jon Stewart has been woke on race. Got a clip here from a while back where Cory Booker had to reel him in regarding help for only black farmers. You remember that?
About a year ago.
That policy measure from the Biden administration. He was just going to help black farmers.
Ways. And so he came in, I said, hey, look, we got a crisis. Very few black farmers are existing. Do something about it. He did something about it. It was my legislation.
And my point is, what happened to that legislation?
It got stopped.
That's my point.
Because we have a Supreme Court and that we knew
it got stopped because
of legal
white
challenges.
Resentment. White farmers felt like resources were being taken away from them and given to people
because people, not again. When you say white farmers, if I'm a white farmer, listen to this in Iowa, I'm thinking,
all right.
Jon Stewart's calling me. Jon Stewart's is blaming me for stopping Booker's legislation. That's not true. But some people,
thank you, Cory,
stop that legislation.
Right.
And my job, who wants to help black farmers who've been built off of their land, is to go back to work with the Biden administration, write new legislation that could withstand a legal challenge.
Like not making it all about race, for instance. How about that?
I love it when Stewart goes, white farmers, and then Cory Booker's like, he actually just sighed audibly like, no.
Yeah, he did.
Although I would like to see what Cory Booker rewrote. I'm sure it was...
Yeah, so would I.
Noble.
But at least you're right. Yeah. I mean, Cory Booker was the sane one in that discussion, trying to bring him back and reel him in a little bit. Wow, jeez. Jason Whitlock, the Blaze's own Jason Whitlock, took Stewart to task in an op-ed, talking about Jon Stewart and the left smearing George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, the U.S. Constitution in the race trial of centuries. Whitlock said, in part, over the last 60 years, the left sold black people a godless, hedonist, materialistic culture that undermined our pursuit of the American dream. Joe Biden defined blackness as allegiance to the Democratic political party. No group has swallowed the fallacy of success through the embrace of liberal ideology more than black voters. In our quest for political power, black women have formed a stronger bond with men and women suffering sexual and gender dysphoria than with heterosexual black men. Our actions state that we believe gay is the new black and trans people govern Wakanda. Wakanda.
Marvel.
Yeah, it's the pretend African nation from Black Panther. The political left captured our minds and immersed us in a culture that reimagines freedom as the courage to reject religious values and principles, see ourselves as victims, and place our fate in the hands of well-intentioned white liberals. The left committed a deadly thought crime. It trained black people to seek salvation through white people. The American dream is not a civil rights movement. The American dream is an individual pursuit. It's about a man or woman perfecting himself or herself. The founding documents are laced with Christian ideas and values. Christianity is an individual battle. Social justice is about improving others. Christianity is about improving yourself. The secular values promoted to black people over the last 60 years made our path to the American dream far more arduous. That's the crime. That's what's murdered, degraded, and disenfranchised black people. Really well put by Jason. Really good stuff. Makes a lot of common sense.
You can find
Some
that
great
article
articles
at theblaze.com.
I shall find it right there. Great news, music lovers. The man who tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan in 1981 is finally starting his promising career as a professional musician.
Okay.
The would-be assassin turned songwriter announced on Twitter that he has scheduled a performance in New York City for this upcoming summer, according to the New York Post. John Hinckley in concert. Show was confirmed in an Instagram post by the venue.
All right. I'm there.
This all happens July 8th, so you got plenty of time to make your plans, book your airfare, get a seat. Tickets can be purchased online for just $20 a piece.
Wow, bargain for a concert?
Hinckley said he's very excited about his upcoming show. That makes one of us. Congratulations, John. That's fantastic.
From assassin, would-be assassin to a musician.
Jeez. That is amazing.
He'll probably end up in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before
Foreigner. Yeah, he probably will. He's 66 now, and he'll still probably rock it past Foreigner. Because let's see, it'd be 25 years. So
where do we start?
25 years from July 8th.
All
right.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
A few months ago, when he got out of prison, he made a video to announce that he was starting a record company.
Oh, this is good.
Remember that?
It's exciting.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing great.
I'm good.
I'd like to say that I'm starting a record label.
Wow.
It's called Emporia Records.
All right, Emporia.
Emporia.
Yeah, we got it.
Thank you for spelling
Emporia
that.
Records. And the first release on this label will be
no silent Q in Emporia.
14-song CD of my
good.
music.
14-song CD.
But I'm also going to be bringing out music by other people.
Oh, good.
Music that I think needs to be heard.
Sure. Okay.
So if you feel like you would like to be on this label of mine,
I do feel like.
if you want to submit
I don't,
demo, you can do that.
No, you can submit a demo, Pat.
Just send in a CD or cassette demo.
Cool.
To Emporia Records, P.O. Box 240.
Okay, look at this.
Williamsburg, Virginia, 23187.
All right.
Wow.
And that's the address if you want to reach me for any other reason.
Oh, okay. Like just invite you to dinner, whatever. Talk about some of the cool things that happened to you in the institution, or
okay, so
you want to watch some Jodie Foster videos with me, or
boy, has anyone broken to him yet? Does he know? Does he know about Jodie? Okay, so anyway, someone should break it to him gently. So he's soliciting for CDs and cassettes.
Yeah.
Dude's been behind bars for literally over 40 years. He realizes ain't nobody sending you a cassette.
Right.
That's not happening. You'd be
Right.
lucky to get a CD at this point.
Very true.
So
now, keep in mind, he is federally barred from owning a firearm, and he is not legally permitted to contact any of Reagan's descendants or actress Jodie Foster.
Oh.
Might remember he was a tad obsessed with Jodie Foster at the time of the shooting. But as Keith alluded to, he may not have heard the news about Jodie since he was in prison. I
don't know what they
I don't know
what they delivered to you behind bars as far as reading materials.
Now, the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation, not super happy about it. Contrary to the judge's decision, we believe John Hinckley is still a threat to others, and we strongly oppose his release. Our hope is that the Justice Department will file a motion with the court leading to a reversal of this decision. Nope, didn't happen, hasn't happened to date, and instead, John is launching his musical career. Here's one of the tunes.
All right.
One of the 14, I guess, that are going to be on his debut album.
That's a good number. Oh, here we go. Look at this, man.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
This is an original song of mine.
Okay.
And it's going to be on my upcoming album.
Right. Okay. All right.
I have seen the good, bad, and ugly.
I bet. Yeah, it's probably true.
I have seen the awake with my eyes.
Okay.
It has been a hard road I've traveled.
I'm not gonna help a assassin.
No, I know, you're right.
A long, lonely night.
I bet they were.
And now I have found something better. Now I have made it to the other side. Lessons I have learned in the past years.
No pack rat guitar.
Bridges I have burned along
That's
the
true.
way.
What kind of lessons do you think you learn in prison, John?
It ain't been easy.
It ain't been easy.
I have made it to a brighter day. And now I have found something better.
You haven't found a note.
Now I have made it to the other side.
All right.
And now I have found something better.
Yee-haw!
Now I have made it to the
other
other side. I don't wish it on anybody. I don't wish no harm to anyone. I got through the night and still living.
I agree. Have you ever seen The Fish is far superior. Okay. I think we get it. It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Oh, really? You're
Yeah, I
into
thought it was going to be worse than that.
Oh, you like that?
No, I did not like it, but I
Oh.
thought it would be worse. Thought it would be worse.
Huh.
Didn't you?
I mean...
And the guy's psycho.
He is completely psycho. Okay, I got to know. Is that the title track we just heard? Is that a deep cut? I don't know.
We don't know.
Is
Will that
that-
be the first single from
Right,
the album?
first single.
We don't know any of those answers yet.
Remember, if you'd like to be a part of John Hinckley's record label, P.O. Box. God.
I wish we would have written it down, but we didn't.
Oh, shoot. We can't go back.
Shoot.
Yeah, we just...
No, we just broke the tape. The tape just broke, so we can't play
But,
it
I
again.
mean, maybe Jodie Foster is into acoustic music.
Could
acoustic
be.
guitar playing.
Yeah, it could be.
Rekindle that.
Oh, man. People don't realize how close Ronald Reagan came to being killed in that attempt, because he was really close. It was way worse than they let on at that time, and for him to get out of prison 40 years later, I mean, that sounds like a long time, but you tried to kill a president of the United States. Of course, he was found innocent by reason of insanity.
Boy, that's
but
convenient.
Yeah,
out.
Very convenient. And that's how he's out now. And I guess he's out on his own recognizance, right? He's not living with... He lives alone. I think he lives alone. He was living with his mother at first.
Yeah.
He's not anymore.
Well, yeah, because she didn't like the jam sessions.
Yeah, he was.
like,
The
"Get
music was
out."
too loud. I think in the middle of the night,
And that's why we
practice sessions with the
didn't-
band.
Yeah, that's why we didn't get this promise of a 14-track CD sooner. Because
Right.
Mom was like, "You're not practicing again. I can't take
Not
it.
in my house."
No, you find your own place."
He said, "I'll take it in the garage." No,
Nope.
I can hear it in the garage.
I mean, at least he didn't learn the drums.
True.
Can you imagine living with that?
And
And how do you approach a son who's been behind bars for 40 years, who was in there for trying to kill the leader of the free world?
Mhm.
You want to be very judicious in how you approach the criticism of the music
yeah, you
playing.
do. You know what? That was really interesting.
That's good.
John. That's really, really interesting. Congratulations.
Why don't
All right.
I get
You know what?
your...
I'm all out of time.
Yeah, let me get
I
you
gotta
your
go.
own place where you can play whenever you want to.
Yeah. All right. Let me tell you about Omega XL. Maybe you've tried a lot of different things to get you out of pain. The pain that comes from inflammation, the pain that we have in our joints so often because we got 360 of them. They're bound to, cause us some problems after a lifetime of taking a beating with our daily activity. And just the older you get, the SPMs aren't as plentiful in your... Those are the things that keep your joints healthy, the SPMs. But as we age, we don't produce enough of them, and so that's why we're in pain. Well, Omega XL can restore your SPMs and rejuvenate joints and your muscles so that you can move like when you were young again. This comes from the pristine waters. The omega fatty acids are from the pristine waters around New Zealand. So it's all natural. This isn't a drug you're going to become addicted to. It's really great. And it builds up in your system, and after 2 or 3 weeks, I think you're going to really feel a difference. Like, it's going to take the pain away. It certainly did for me in my elbow. So go to omegaxl.com/Pat. Buy one bottle. They're going to give you a second for free. You buy one, you get one free at omegaxl.com/Pat or 800-844-4888.
Pat Gray.
By the way, no Elon Musk at Twitter. Even though he's the largest shareholder, just decided, no, I'm not going to go on the board.
Yeah, have we heard why that is yet?
I have not.
Because all I can think is...
Apparently it was his decision.
Yeah, is it... You think maybe, this is just me speculating, you can't own more than 15% of the company and serve on the board? So I would say serve on the board until you own 15% of the company. Right now it's only 9.2%.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
So it's either that or the fact that when you're on the board, you can't criticize them. You have to work. You have to do everything. Everything you say has to be for the benefit of Twitter.
Oh, I missed that part. Oh, he's like, no.
And he's like, I
don't think so, Tim.
I don't think I can do that. In fact, as soon as it was announced that he's not going on, he started to say, is Twitter dying? Okay, I don't know.
He's having fun.
Yeah.
Trolling everyone.
Now, apparently, there are those who thought that Elon Musk's vision of free speech would be bad for Twitter. So allowing everybody to be heard, that would be bad for Twitter?
Yeah.
Would it? Just pathetic. Pathetic. And he mocked the Washington Post after an op-ed from the paper called for federal regulations to prevent the rich from controlling social media.
Wait, who was that op-ed from? The
Washington Post, owned, of course, by Jeff Bezos.
Wait, whoa.
Somewhat rich, but he's not number one anymore. He's only number two.
Don't conflate the two issues, Pat. They're talking about rich people that they don't agree with.
Right, that's true. That is true.
That's stunning.
Phenomenal.
Do op-eds do they not run them by Jeff? Obviously, he's probably not the editor-in-chief, but do they not run it through that prism? Like, whoa, wait a minute. Did no one stop it before it hit the presses?
God,
wait, you know
crazy.
who owns us, right? Like, we're media, and we're owned by, like...
Yeah. Have you met us? The Washington Post? Have you met us?
Oh, my.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome, yeah.
Also, China has had millions of its citizens on lockdown over the past 2 months. This is something that's kind of on the down low, it seems like. Nobody's really talking about it. Residents are a little tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we have a video of a Shanghai resident screaming on the phone at a Chinese government authority, apparently.
Yeah, you're going to have to translate this. Read the bottom here.
Okay.
Okay.
So, explain, if the market is closed, what do I buy? What do I eat? What do I drink? You're driving people to
death.
In a what was that?
He's in a district. You just tell him where he lives. He's on the phone with him.
My parents are locked into wherever they are. How do they live by these last 2 months? My grandmother lives alone. Nobody takes care of that. You locked us up. What does she drink? What does she eat? You're driving someone to death. Yeah, he's not happy.
Blank you.
Ooh, wow.
Shanghai city government official driving people to revolt.
And is that somebody trying to calm him down, or is that a government official?
There's no way for me to live. Right. They're not doing anything. There's no way to live. No way for anybody to live.
Now the government's not doing anything. I only prepared
supplies till April 5th.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he goes, every day my business is shut. My employees need to eat. I don't have money.
He's really pissed.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine...
My mortgage is due. What do I do?
Can't imagine this is going to be good.
Yeah. He says, just let the Communist Party take me. I don't care anymore. Where's the Communist Party? Where's communism?
Well, where they always are.
You bastards, he says.
Wow.
What about the ordinary people?
Yeah, they don't care. Communism is doing what it always does, my friend. It's not about what the government is lying. Why is April 5th the end?
Yeah, in other words, you guys promised we'd be out April 5th. The government's lying, don't you understand? How can ordinary people live? How can anybody live like this now? I mean, they were told April 5th. So this goes on, and he's obviously very angry. There's an American who is a resident of Shanghai who's been tweeting, and he talks about how, I mean, it's just grotesque. It's horrific. He talks about how each apartment complex has one volunteer that goes out, and he's the volunteer for his floor. I think it's his floor. And they deliver supplies once a day. And he's like, so you have this designated time when you go down and get your supplies. You have to wear this, hazmat suit to go down and get this stuff. Everybody has to test. You have to come down and test. Everybody in the building has to test every day. And he says they leave this food out, like this meat, and it's like 80 degrees sitting out there for hours at a time. And that's what you go and take to the residents of your apartment. And then if you test positive somehow there, they end up hauling you away to this place where there's no sanitary conditions whatsoever. There's no privacy, no showers, no toilets. He says, because some of the people have been taken there from his building, and it's just horrific. And they're going to try to export this to the rest of the world again. We'll see who takes the bait.
Wow.
This is not good. But look, maybe that guy is the social media equivalent of Tank Man, right?
I hope so, yeah.
I mean, let's see what happens. Does this take off? Because we've got another video. This is purported at there's supposed to be food, I think. There's not a lot of context to this video, but you can see the Chinese people there. They're lined up at this barricade, and you play that video if you can, Rob. And they break through. They're like, screw this. I hear there's food over there, and that's where we're going. And so there you go. It just takes one person going by the authorities, and then everyone else is like, okay, yep, I'm hungry too. And that is China. This video is getting out of China.
Wow.
They are trying to lock down their citizens yet again, and they're not having it this time.
That's amazing. Incredible. Meanwhile, they've detected another COVID strain in the UK, and so we got that going for us. I suppose we're going to be hearing about that and quarantining again here. And, it's interesting because they've done studies and found recently that it was the lockdown that hurt us far more than the pandemic has.
Boy, who said that was going to happen?
I know, it sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Quite so.
That's weird. That's really weird. Who could have seen that coming? It may be years before we fully realize the ramifications of the lockdown policies governments around the world have imposed on their citizens in response to COVID-19, but evidence of the costs are starting to trickle in. A recent study conducted by the CDC surveyed thousands of high school students on the effects of the pandemic. Since the beginning of the pandemic, the study reports, more than half of the students found it more difficult to complete their schoolwork, 66%, experienced emotional abuse by a parent or other adult in their home, 55%, which correlated heavily with students who experienced insecurity via parental job loss, personal job loss, and hunger. A related CDC study released the same day examined the effects of the pandemic have had on mental health with high school students. It found that during the 12-month period before the survey, 44.2% experienced persistent feelings of sadness or helplessness. 19% seriously considered attempting suicide, and 9% had attempted it. Wow. These findings should be no surprise. Only a few months into the pandemic, the CDC's morbidity and mortality report surveyed people of all ages regarding the substance abuse and suicidal thoughts, and young people showed the most dramatic increase compared with pre-COVID surveys. This report was all but ignored, of course, as the demagogues in politics and the media predicted Armageddon if the world didn't embrace the draconian lockdowns. And now we've seen that the draconian lockdowns stopped nothing and just made people crazy. That's all. And now China's experiencing the self-same thing. So we'll see what happens there. But, I mean, the first time around, they only admitted to 83,000 people with the virus to begin with. You remember that? Every day, week after week, month after month, it was about 83,000 people had COVID. So who knows if we're ever going to hear the real numbers coming out of China.
Well, did you see that Russia is basically moving their operations east, man? They're moving to the eastern side of Ukraine. They're like, okay, look, we can't
make
take
any headway.
Right, we can't take the whole country, so we're just going to go back to an old school plan.
And this is kind of weird. Did you see the little model pose from
what is this from?
Volodymyr Zelensky?
I know Newsweek was over there recently. I don't know if this is a part of that, but yeah, it's very strange to see him posing.
Look at that. There's the pose.
With sandbags around the stairway
and just him in his casual outfit as always, like a t-shirt, jeans, just kind of sitting there like the thinker.
Because, I mean, your country's under attack.
Yeah, it's weird. It's strange.
Let me take time for a photo shoot.
Yeah. Yes.
That seems, again,
it's just weird. You know, I'm not saying we shouldn't support the Ukrainians. I'm just a little troubled by the government and the leader of the government. While everybody is just falling in love with the guy, I'm saying, maybe we date him a little bit longer before we fall in love.
Let's date him a little longer.
Is that possible?
Yeah, we don't need a fling with Vladimir Zelensky. Okay, I mean, and I tell you, man, that country, Ukraine, that history is so tangled. I was just thinking about this over the weekend when I was reading and watching some videos and stuff. It's like, this is the most complicated nation's history that I think I've ever read about. How there is no clear. The only thing that is clear in all of this is that Vladimir Putin is a bad guy and should not have invaded Ukraine and should not be killing innocent people.
Yes,
that
we're all clear
agree
on that.
Okay?
I think so, yeah.
But my goodness, this country, the history is such a tangled mess. The last thing we need to be getting involved with is a war against Russia in a foreign country. I think, are we good right now? Can we stop going into countries around the world?
Well, it was Biden himself that was telling us about the absolute corruption in Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why he insisted on that government official being fired, because he was so corrupt we couldn't do any business with you guys. You're not going to get your $1 billion or $2 billion, whatever it was. You're not going to get that money until you fire him. And they're like, what? You can't do that. Yeah, try me. Go ahead and call Barack. He'll back me on this. Okay. So they fired him that day. And that was supposedly because of all the corruption in Ukraine. I guess that's all been fixed now.
Sure.
I guess it's totally
Yeah, and none of that
fine.
corruption has anything to do with anybody with the last name Biden, I'm sure.
Oh, no. Of course not. No, you have their word as Biden's that everything's fine there. So.
Oh, by the way, don't look now, but China has just delivered to Serbia, the part of Russia, some anti-aircraft missiles. So those should be helping with
wonderful.
the cause. I mean, look, if we're going to supply NATO and Ukraine, then I guess China's going to help out Russia. It's going to be fun, right? We'll see where this goes.
Don't forget, overtime coming up. If you want to sign up, go to theblazetv.com/Pat, enter More Unleashed, and get $15 off your subscription.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.